I don't know, is it her catch Wimbledon maybe? So it's been 5 years. Don't know how it's going to go tomorrow. So there's a lot of uncertainty, but a lot of happiness that I can return to Arthur Ashe, a place where I've had so many beautiful moments. And I don't know, I just get a sort of a chance to be with Roddick and McEnroe and, who else is it? Roddick, McEnroe, and Andre, of course. Jeez, blackout. But so it's just nice to connect, with the tennis community again. That's why I try to go to 4 or 5 events throughout the season. But this one's obviously special with, the Icon returns here in New York, and then going to Newport, Rhode Island, and going for the first time over there actually, and getting inducted right away is obviously super special. Means a lot. Yeah, and it's nice to look back, I guess, one more time, because life goes quick, especially when you have 4 children. You stop remembering what you did or what you've been through. So it's like you go like into a time machine, and like everything slows down for a second, and you can actually look back one more time. Because I don't need it in my life, but it's nice when it does happen, because my life on tour was amazing. I loved it, and now the kids are also getting older, so they can also maybe enjoy it a little bit, seeing their dad play, because the girls are 17 and the boys are 12. So I don't think they remember a whole lot of the U.S. Open, to be quite honest, because last time I played, it's been a while now, and when I did play, I wasn't playing super long. Night sessions were tough at the time. It was late for them. So I hope that's also going to be a special occasion for them.
Brian?
Hey, Roger.
Yeah.
You were sort of playing so well those last few years of your career. When you lost here in 2019, it kind of seemed like we'll see you next year and you'll go far. Did you sort of miss out that you never had this is the last time, like maybe Serena or Agassi had? And just the fact you've been gone this long,
Yeah.
I would have thought with all your business stuff, you would have had like so many requests to be here. What's the reason now, I guess?
Yeah, look, I didn't want to push for it as well, and look, things just happened the way they did, because I could feel, obviously, throughout after Wimbledon that summer, I could feel on vacation, this is it. The knee can't do it anymore. It's tired. The mind can't be patient even more and wait for another couple of years and see what happens. So then ending it at the Labour Cup in London was the right thing to do. And then I didn't want to go right away to each tournament and do a farewell. So I kind of let it come naturally to me. I was here a couple of years ago, briefly. I went to Center Court, watched I think Grigor was playing, Zabalenka was playing those nights. But, it wasn't my night. They gave me an ovation because they saw me on the big screen. But I just feel like tomorrow, and I guess today as well, and then Monday next week, it really gives me a true opportunity to say thank you and goodbye, which is, I think, important for some. For me, it is. And it's a nice thing to do, for sure. But I don't know why it hasn't happened earlier. It's just... life with family and life on the road, and I didn't want to look for it right away. I let it come naturally.
Thank you. Hi, Roger.
Hey.
Aside from this exhibition tomorrow, if you had the opportunity to come back and play one more main draw here at the U.S. Open in 2026, who would you most like to play and why? In today's game.
In today's game, yeah. Well, I mean, maybe Carlos. I think he's exciting. I never got a chance to play against him, or Sinner the same. We only practiced together a little bit as they were coming up. So I missed that generation, unfortunately, a little bit. And there's a bunch of those guys I just missed just because of my knee issues. Obviously, Novak would be cool too. I mean, he's still going strong, and he's still hanging in there, which is cool. So I'm thinking mostly about obviously those guys. Yeah, and it's nice to see Carlos back. I'm happy he made it in time. So we'll see how he's going to feel. But I don't have to worry about how I would play him because I'm not there in the draws. But I wish him the best.
Willie?
Roger, if at the time you were playing there had been the mixed doubles with the format that there is today, how do you think you would have done?
Yeah, I don't know if I would have played. Maybe I would have. I don't know. It's a good question. I think it's an interesting, how do you call it? Try, or an interesting, I don't know if it's a trial or if it's a given that it's going to be like this forever. But look, it's a different concept for the fans and for the tournament. And now that I'm here in New York, after hearing about it last year and just kind of on the periphery watching it, I'm going to be much closer checking it out, But I think I would have done okay. I don't know who I would have played with, to be honest. I would have had maybe chances with Hingis or Belinda, obviously, or I don't know who else I would have played with. But, I mean, it's a cool concept. I like when top singles guys put themselves out there and play doubles. That was also the idea of the Laver Cup, to get guys together to match up that normally don't. And also see the top guys struggle, to be honest. It's not simple, those doubles or mixed doubles, especially when you're not used to it. So it's kind of a cool concept. I like it.
If there's time for a follow-up, you didn't mention Serena. What would it have been like to play with Serena in the mixed doubles here, do you think?
It would have been very cool, but I think she would have been booked up with Roddick or someone, I don't think I would have. They're too close. So maybe, I mean, I would have been totally okay and open for that. But yeah, that's why I didn't mention her, because I felt like she had enough Americans to deal with, before getting to me.
Thank you. Roger, Steve Fogelman, Tennis Atlantic. In that regard, Serena is doing it. Venus is doing it. You are younger than Venus. I mean, do you ever wake up and say, maybe I should consider a wild card just for a limited basis?
No. No, not at all. Thanks for asking. I wasn't sure if the question was going to get asked, but I'm happy you did, so I can clarify in case anybody thought. No, not at all. And I think you anyway have to enter the doping pool. Like, God, there's way too many obstacles, and I'm too busy. I'm barely finding time to play any exos, So imagine a tour and the body is done. It's But I'm very happy how I'm feeling, so all good, and just a fan now, just enjoying watching. Yeah.
Hi. Many players are retiring this year. Among them, I'd like to ask about Kei Nishikori. Please share your opinion about his play or his tennis, his strong points or his personality.
Yeah, I mean, Nishikori is obviously a guy I played a lot against, and I had a lot of respect for him. I remember practicing with him, particularly in Miami when he was like 16 or even 15, as he was coming through, I think, Bollettieri's in Florida and the whole thing. So I see him grow, and I remember we did like a sort of a charity hit together. They asked me to bring another player I could play with, and I remember that night I said, and probably one day I'll lose against him. And I'm happy I wasn't wrong, because he was exceptional and always got along very well with Kei. Thought he had a wonderful game, obviously a super respectful person as well. And yeah, it's sad seeing the likes of Nishikori and Wawrinka and others go. So from that standpoint, it's been a pleasure having played against them, no doubt.
Nada from Serbian Radio. Welcome back to your tennis house. Wolf in the winter brought us some moments from the golden history. I'm talking about the documentary of Novak Djokovic.
I haven't seen
Have
it
you
yet.
had the chance to see?
Not yet.
Not yet. So, what is your assessment on possibility of him getting the 25th here? And can you share us maybe one anecdote when playing?
I mean, I feel like whenever Novak enters any tournament for that matter, or a major, he'll be in it with a shot. Anyway, that's my opinion. I have very high regards of Novak. I've seen what he can do, not just once, not just here, not just there. He's done it in every place, and at the highest of levels. So I always think that as long as he's in the draw, there is a chance. And I think that's also one of the reasons he's still playing, because he actually truly must believe that he can still do it. And that's my opinion too. I haven't seen the documentary yet. And, well, I mean, I just think we played each other almost 50 times on all the different surfaces and all the biggest courts. He was a pleasure to play against. Incredible player, unbelievable fighter, figured out his game, became bigger and stronger and better. And it's amazing that he's still going. I'm very impressed.
Roger, hi. Carthy, Sky Sports
Hey,
Tennis.
how are you?
Nice to see you again. What's been the biggest challenge for practicing to play singles, and what, if anything, have you missed about competitively playing?
Haven't really missed it, because you're happy not to put the body through the grind. I don't know how to explain, or maybe it explains it, just not wanting to be out there and defending and scrapping. And so the preparation has just been hitting more tennis balls again, because very quickly when you're retired, I think you go through days and weeks and months all of a sudden where you're hitting very little. So you have to make it a priority. And my kids are getting older, so I get a chance to play more with them. And depending on where we are, I can also just, knowing that there is a light at the end of the tunnel which says doubles match, singles match, whatever it may be, you just have a reason to go back on court. And actually, it's very helpful. I've been in the gym a lot. I love working out with my wife and with my friends whenever we hang out. So I've been doing a lot of that, but it's not like playing tennis, and when you haven't played, you get unbelievable amount of muscle pain. So I feel like my body's ready for tomorrow. But again, we're not playing best of five. We're not trying to, God knows what to do to each other, hit the drop shots on every second ball. So I think we're going to be respectful to the fact that we're not active players anymore. But I hope it's going to be a lot of fun for us, and same for the fans to just see us back out playing. And I think Andy, from what I heard, is as nervy as me, because we just haven't been out there for that long, which could be maybe more funny overall.
We've got time for 3 more questions.
John Deers with Agence France Presse. I'm wondering, as you've reflected back on your career, looking at the induction on Saturday, have you thought about anything differently in terms of realizing certain moments were particularly impactful or influential that you hadn't realized before?
Yeah, I think when you retire, I think I said it before, that there was a lot of talk also about maybe my personality and what I brought to the game overall when I wasn't on court, which I was a little surprised. I thought it was about, in the moment, still forehand and backhands and saving break points and victories and all that stuff. But actually it becomes a little bit, not irrelevant eventually, but it's about what were you remembered for? How did you behave, in the locker rooms or in the corridors, or maybe with the media or with the term directors, the ball kids? I don't know. For me, if I look back, that's kind of what I'm very happy about, that I went through 25 years on tour and actually felt like I've met a lot of friends, and a lot of people miss me. Same with fans. They come up to me and tell me, oh, what a shame you're not playing anymore. And then I get a flashback saying, like, it was an amazing time. And I say it every time. I loved it. And it's a shame I can't be on the tour anymore, but it was a great, great time. And I miss it dearly, And then that I actually had the opportunity to play, let's say, night sessions here in a US Open final. Even one would have been plenty, because when you enter into a finals of this kind of magnitude tournament, it teaches you so much. It shows you how far you've come, and forever you can think of that moment, So thankfully I have many of those, not that I needed it, but it's just incredible that when I look back at the US Open, as an example, it makes me so proud to have seen like everything I experienced here, and I think with the induction, it gives me a chance to look back on, and also being able to start a foundation that I used to have, still have, I guess, to a degree, the power of the microphone, being able to speak about subjects that I like to speak, or if I want to show up, I can. If I don't have to, I'm in a very comfortable place today, but I'm still happy to be, out there and being in the tennis world from time to time, and because it is the glue to everything that surrounds me still today. And I had the best time, had a lot of friends on tour, from players to people who were organizers, etc. So I hope that a lot of the players who retire also feel the same way about the game, because I care dearly.
How you doing, Roger? Thank you for the time. Adesina Koike, a lot of sports talk, USOpen.org. The most recent ATP Masters 1000 final featured 2 black players, with Arthur and Francis Tiafoe. You've done a lot of work. You had to turn work and work with people and help spread the game of tennis to people who are of underrepresented groups in the sport of tennis. Where do you see the game going, or how do you view the game in terms of not just its diversity, but the importance of specifically Francis and Ben Shelton and Arthur and black male tennis players in growing the sport, and obviously the Williams sisters and others have done, yeoman work.
Very important. I mean, I think it's nice to see, and it's a I guess can you call it a beacon of hope? I don't know, like for a lot of people, same when, let's say, I know it's very European and, let's say, American heavy, the tennis tour, but I would love to see Africa and Asia and South America become even stronger, because we have a very global tour, which has its advantages and disadvantages, of course, because again, back to the schedule, the players can't be everywhere, but they can try, and they can try their best. And tennis, I think, is really, truly doing a good job of trying to be as global as possible. So having a moment like this in a big-time tournament, not just in a second round, but actually in the finals, I think is a good sign, gives an amazing signal. And I hope it's going to happen more frequently, that we see that also at other big events happening in the future.
And last question in the back.
Roger, if no player with the one-handed backhand makes the semifinals at this year's U.S. Open,
what is that?
It is said to be the first time in tennis history that it hasn't happened for an entire calendar year. What's your breakdown?
Majors.
Just slams, yeah.
Yeah, no semifinalists.
No semifinalists.
Okay.
So if you think back, like last year, Musetti at RG, for example, and it's just been this long lineage of at least somebody gets there.
Yeah.
So if that streak ends, I mean, what's your overall breakdown for why that shot has become so difficult in the modern game, where we're seeing it so little?
Yeah, good, tough question. I don't know. That's why I'm maybe practicing with Musetti this afternoon in an hour, making sure he's ready. Or give him some wisdom. I don't know. Obviously, we'll see his draw and everything. But no, of course, I love seeing one-handers do well. Look, I think I was doing an interview this morning, actually, and it reminded me that my coaches when I was growing up were, I would say, 90% one-handers. So I think when your coach is a one-handed tennis player, you will be most likely a one-handed tennis player too. I don't know. That's just a little bit of a feel I'm getting. Nowadays, probably the coaches are mostly double-handed players, right? And it's just easier to teach a kid to have two hands on the backhand side, just because I have one of my kids, he's switching from a double-hander to a one-hander, and I just see how hard it is for him to hit it and to control it. And sure, eventually you get control, but it just takes time, right? And nowadays we don't have time. Everything has to happen immediately. If you do technical changes, it takes too long and it's too frustrating. So might as well just stick with what you have. And I think that's also one of the reasons we see a lot of double-handers. And then you add racket technology, string technology, maybe the slowness of maybe the tennis balls and the courts nowadays, and just that we're working less maybe potentially on transition, less on volleys, whereas maybe back in the day I used to do 50-50, volleys and net play and baseline game. And before my time, it probably was like 80% net play and 20%, baseline drills. And now it's like 90-10, right? Just baseline. And that's why I think the double-hander just allows you, especially with the open stance sliding, like what we've seen Rafa do and Novak do, that it's amazing how you are able to defend out of that side, because before we had the feeling that you were short on the backhand side if you had two hands. And the one-hander was an advantage there, which it seems like it's not naturally the case anymore. Now, I don't know how much also people get injured more with double-handed backhands, because you always hear about left-handed wrists if you're a righty with the flick, how that ends up creating problems as well. But I don't think that's going to stop anybody from hitting double-handers. And I just think the accumulation of all that has created that we see so many more double-handers,